Hi guys, this is Hero. How's everyone doing today? So today I'm going over how to understand aspects properly in astrology. Okay. When I see most people talk about aspects, it's almost, in my opinion, a little bit too like mathematical or calculative. Now, it is important, right? Math and calculations in this science. However, it's also important to understand, and I said this in other videos, why scriptures say what they say, or why sages said what they say, right? Yes, they say it. Yes, we should accept it and follow these rules. But it's important to understand why they said it so we can really see the full meaning of why they say it. Okay. For example, let's just say you have, okay, every planet throws a seventh aspect, right? So let's just say you have a planet at the very end of Leo, okay? And now, okay, so let's just say it's Leo 29 degrees. It throws a seventh aspect, right? So you're going to blindly think, okay, 7 houses away from Leo is Aquarius. So anything in Aquarius is going to receive its seventh aspect. But the planet's at 29 degrees Leo. So if a planet is at 0 or 1 degrees Pisces, yeah, it's technically 8 houses away, right? If you're looking at it from the Lugna position, like a Lugna chart position. But does that planet not receive any influence? Of course, the planet receives some influence, right? And this is where you really need to have a holistic understanding of how all the sign and house uh energies work, right? Why do planets throw a seventh aspect? It's not just because they said it throws a seventh aspect, right? It's because each um each opposite of the zodiac sign belt affects each other, right? So like Leo affects Aquarius, right? Because they're kind of opposite. Taurus affects Scorpio, right? Gemini affects Sagittarius. They're kind of opposite. Sagittarius is learning. Gemini is um, your own self-efforts and expansions and things like that, right? So your learning is always going to affect your self-efforts. Your self-efforts always going to affect your learning, right? So in this example of Leo and Aquarius, yeah, the planet's in Leo, but it's in Leo 29 degrees. So the exact opposite of that energy would be Aquarius 29 degrees. Now, Aquarius 29 degrees, that energy there is a lot different than Aquarius 1 degree, right? You could almost even make the argument that it's more similar to Pisces 1 degree than it is Aquarius 1 degree. Right? Aquarius 29 degrees is more similar to Pisces 1 degree than Aquarius 1 degree. Okay, I'm not trying to say that it is or it isn't, but I'm trying to just paint a whole picture, okay? That it's not so segregated, first of all, aspects like the signs, yeah, they're fixed degrees, but it's not the same throughout the whole thing. It's not like that rigid of this is just how they've been segregated, but there's a flow to it. Okay, so the same thing. There's a flow to the aspects, right? It's not just bang 7 houses away in the Lugna chart. That's where the aspect everywhere that like at that spot is where the aspect is, and it's not like that, right? So when it comes to a 7th aspect, first of all, since I started this, you have to understand that yeah, the 7th aspect is strongest right across, but there is a, because of the reason why I just said, but there is an influence of the energy before or behind the degrees, right? There's very little chance that a planet's going to be exactly right across on the belt, right? That's almost impossible. But anything near it kind of receives that 7th aspect, right? Now, for other special, so I'll do the 7th aspect because every planet has that. Then I'll do special aspects right now, and then I'll do other minor aspects in a second. There are some planets that receive special aspects, right? Like Mars, not only does it have a 7th aspect, but it has a full 4th and 8th. Saturn has a full 3rd and 10th. Jupiter has a full 5 and 9. Ketu Rahu has a full 5 and 9. Okay, these 4 planets have 2 special aspects each. And something that you might know about these 4 are the these 5 are the nodes and the outer planets, okay? Versus the other ones that only have a 7th aspect, they're the more material planets, right? The sun, moon, Mercury, and Venus. They have a large impact on our material life the most. These planets that have more special aspects have a large influence on our spiritual life, or our conventional spiritual life. All these planets are spiritual, but I think you get what I'm saying. The nodes and the outer planets, right? So they have these. These aspects are not just blindly, oh, Mars throws 4, 7, 8, right? They are so different. And there's see, all planets technically aspect all positions away from themselves, right? Venus aspects 2 through 12. Mars aspects 2 through 12. Saturn aspects 2 through 12. Mercury aspects 2 through 12. Every planet has an influence, every house away from it, right? It's just that due to the nature of these planets, certain positions, they impact so much more for a certain reason. For example, Mars, it gets debilitated in Cancer, right? Which is the natural fourth sign. Fourth energy is all about comforts and, I guess you can say, stereotypical happiness and things like that, right? Emotions, things like that. So Mars, anything 4 away from it, it's going to cause havoc in that place. Okay, 8th, right? Mars is its own Scorpio, which is the 8th house. So that placement, the sages say, Mars has a very strong effect 8 from itself, because it throws anything 8 from itself. Mars allows you to have more intuition in that area, right? Saturn is all about karmic efforts, right? So anything 3rd from it, Saturn's going to impact that area a lot, right? Because anything 3rd from Saturn is 11th from the 3rd house away from it. And Saturn owns the 11th sign. So it's going to have a lot of effects on 3rd from its placement. Saturn owns the 10th also. So anything 10th from it, you're going to have to put a lot of discipline and things in that area, right? Jupiter, it's naturally, the trines are the most benefic, right? 5 and 9. So, and then the nodes are also very, very spiritual and karmic in nature. So Jupiter, Ketu, Rahu are all going to have a very strong impact 5 and 9 away from each other, okay? Which has a lot to do with dharmas and things like that. So this is kind of how the special aspects work. They all impact all placements 2 through 12 away from it. But certain positions have very special effects, right? Like Jupiter, it has a special effect 5 and 9. But it affects and 7, right? But every planet has 7. But it also impacts 8 from it as well, right? You can't just look. I know in my transit videos, like, I tend to only touch on special aspects, right? Because sages gave importance to it. I need to respect that. And I do respect that. But you also have to understand that each planet influences each house away from it. It's just certain houses get more importance for some planets. Okay, that's a very key concept. It is not just, this is a special aspect, this is a special aspect, this is that, this is that. And same thing applies as the 7th aspect concept with these special aspects, right? If Saturn's in Leo, right, 29 degrees, its 3rd aspect away from itself, it slams the hardest at 29 degrees Libra, okay? So if something's at 1 degree Scorpio, it's also going to receive that aspect, right? Because there's a flow to the energies, right? It's not just, in the Lagna chart, I count 1, 2, 3, and boom, I arrive there, right? It's not that concrete. It's that exactly around that range. Saturn's really going to force a lot of efforts to be put in there, okay? So I really hope that made sense. And that brings me to my last point, minor aspects. This video is already approaching 10 minutes. I can't go crazy along with this, but minor aspects are always going to be there for all the planets. The basic root concept, each planet has an influence on any part of the chart, okay? Regardless of if it throws an aspect on it, conjunction, owns the house, whatever. So trines from a planet, Kendra from a planet, whatever, 2 from a planet, 6 from a planet, anything, it is going to have an influence there. Now, everyone and their mom has their own opinion on different, if it's this far away, it's like this. I'm not going to debate all that right now. I just want to let you know that it does have an influence there. So you want to dig deeper into your own consciousness and let your own intuition guide you on what the impact is for certain planets, certain placements away. And it could be a little bit different for some charts versus others, or some transits versus others, okay? So that's it for this video. This video just passed 10 minutes. If you have any questions or comments, as usual, you can feel free to let me know. And until next time, I will talk to everyone later. Thank you all very, very much for watching.